What's up everybody, Chuck Bailey with the Bass Channel here, and today we're going to be checking out the Starfire basses from Guild. Let's go. So, the Guild Newark St collection marks the return of classic Guild electric guitars and basses from the 1950s and 60s, once again putting the distinctive Guild styling and voice that helped shape popular music into the hands of today's musicians. The Newark St collection celebrates some of Guild's most iconic models, including, but definitely not limited to, the Starfire. Let's start with the Starfire II. This dual pickup, semi-hollow bass guitar adds both legendary style and a modern range of sonic options to Guild's iconic Starfire bass. The recent addition of the Bisonic BS1 neck pickup has even further expanded the tonal options available to this bass, giving you a warm and smooth sound for added flexibility. It has an individual volume, tone, and master volume knobs, along with a pickup selector switch that allows for a variety of tonal options. As its name suggests, the flamed maple version replaced the original mahogany body with a really nice looking flamed maple, accentuated by the clear high gloss finish. It also includes a Guild Deluxe hardshell case. The Guild BS1, or the Bisonic pickup, was originally found in many of the solid and hollow body Guild basses in the 1960s and 70s. The BS1 has developed a cult following, resulting in several reissue versions and designs, including the famous Dark Star by Fred Hammond and the BSDS by Curtis Novak. Wound to 6.4 kilo ohms, similar in specifications to the Hammond Dark Star, the Guild BS1 provides a refined, modern tone in a classic package. The Starfire I bass is a modern adaptation of the traditional Starfire bass platform at a much more affordable price, featuring a slimmed down 2.4-inch body thickness, inward shifted neck, short 30 3/4 inch scale length, and a 1.5-inch nut width. The Starfire I bass is a compact and accessible option with just as big of a tone. Stable tuning and easy adjustability are provided by the Tune-O-Matic bass bridge, and the harp tailpiece adds a touch of Guild's classic aesthetic, likening the bass to its upright ancestors. It comes equipped with Guild's BC1 bicoil pickup, complete with hum-resistant nickel covers and an Alnico 5 magnet construction. Combined with the woody nature of a semi-hollow body tone and the volume and tone control it brings, these pickups allow you to dial in anything from modern cutting bass tones to woolly, round, nostalgic vintage tones. Up on the volume knob to reveal the push-pull vintage switch, a feature that adds presence with rolled down low frequencies, reminiscent of the parallel pickup configuration the vintage hollow body basses had. The thing with both of these basses is they're both equally tremendous because while they may seem niche to most gigging musicians, what they do bring is mojo. They're super unique. They have a feel all of their own, and it does feel very much so like waxing nostalgia when you look back at those old 50s and 60s musicians that performed on black and white TVs and in the music scene that maybe your parents grew up with, or maybe you grew up with. You're very familiar with these double cutaway shapes because a lot of the instruments at that time that were hollow bodies all followed a very similar format. And this is no stranger as far as what we visually acknowledge, but it's still very unique. The flamed maple on the Starfire II is beautiful. I love that bleached white flamed look, and it has a very nice cream double binding around the bass if you look very closely, and hopefully you saw that. It's beautiful. Those bisonic pickups sound tremendous. I was first turned on to those pickups by Juan Alderete, obviously in a very different bass from what you just saw, but those pickups were immediately something that caught my eye, and you saw them in the, I believe, so many different renditions of pickups throughout the decades, but they've been around, they've made their rounds, and the fact that Guild has these in this bass, two of them to be specific, it's just double the fun. Not to sound cliche, but you have a myriad of tone options with that bass, from going between the bridge or the neck or both. Everything sounds awesome, and it sounds unique, and it sounds usable, which is super important to me. I don't necessarily align myself with niche instruments that aren't usable, because what's the point? I think this bass sounded great. I don't necessarily know if it's something that I would always reach for, but it's definitely something that I love having in my arsenal, because when I need this specific tone, that round, dark kind of just carries it, so this presence, right? It's very unique. That's what I'm gonna grab. That's definitely what I'm gonna grab. Now, as far as the Starfire I, with that kind of P pickup right in the center of it, I love that bass. It reminds me of my old 67 that my father gave me when I first started playing bass. It's because it's very similar in its construction and the color, and it just oozes just unique and vintage and again, that mojo. That's the I sound like a car salesman and I hate that, but that's what's so awesome about these basses is they are different than anything else you can grab. They sound different than anything else that you may have in your arsenal. And you know, artists and paintbrushes, they don't all have one brush, right? You need multiple brushes. These would be tremendous to add to your repertoire of instruments that you may have. If you're a gigging musician, this would be something that if you were looking to do more of those older style songs, 50s and 60s, or if you're looking for something that has that great upright, neck heavy, focused tone, or just this really full and round and kind of like old school throwback tone, both of these basses can do that very well. I like also that Guild has these basses priced in something that I would consider reasonable for what it offers, especially because the quality of the build, the hard shell case, the bisonic pickups, and again, you know, there's obviously a considerable price difference between the two, but I think both of these offer enough of a unique option between the two where you could justify one or the other, or even both if you thought necessary. I wouldn't necessarily say both. I think one of those does the job in spades because Guild clearly knows what they're doing when it comes to builds and consistency. Both these instruments felt, sounded, and played amazing. But let me know what you guys thought. Did you like the Starfire II or the Starfire I? What did or did not you like about each of those instruments? Let me know. We would love to hear that feedback, and I'm sure Guild would too. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, this is Chuck Bailey with the Bass Channel, and we will see you later.